Welcome to this video. In our last video, we talked about coordinate systems, and we established that we have two kinds of coordinate systems. We have the geographic coordinate system and we have the projected coordinate system. And how that the geographic coordinate systems, it helps us display the map accurately as it concerns the location, because we have different countries or continents at different places on the Earth's surface. One coordinate system will not work perfectly in displaying the shape of that country or continent accurately. And how that the projected coordinate system, on the other hand, is for measurements, to take linear measurements on the Earth's surface. It assists you, it helps you convert degrees, places, degrees from one point to the other into linear measurements. You can find length, area, perimeter, and of course the units, meters, inches, kilometers, miles, and what have you. And now we are here at the map projection. In our previous video on digitizing, we started off with digitizing a map from a raster data. We will just do a little of that and now go straight into importing shapefiles and CSV data with longitude and latitudes as we make a map and export it. So map projection is a process of arranging map elements on a sheet of paper in a way that even without many words, the average person can understand what it's about. Maps are usually produced for presentations, reports, or presentations and reports where the audience or reader is a politician, citizen, or a learner with no professional background in GIS. Because of this, a map has to be effective. That's very important. The map has to be very effective in communicating special information. Common elements of the map are titles, map body, legend, north arrow, scale bar, acknowledgement, and map borders. For me, I don't like using titles, but this is just the picture, the image here is to let you know what a standard map looks like. And as a geographer by profession, I do a lot more now. I know that there is no map without a north arrow. Otherwise, it's not a map. All right, I think that is some information to have. So right now, let's go straight to our QGIS software and get on with the map. I think we are up now. Well, so in our last video, a couple of videos back on digitizing, I want to add that layer, and because in the example I was just working with polygons, I want to show you lines and points as well. So let me add a digitized file. Here we go. This is the digitized file. Great. Of course, notice the coordinates, they are accurate. Great. And I'll just try to do a quick walk here for this local government administrative area. So quickly, again, let's run a little digitizing. And first of all, how we do that is to create the vector layer. The first one, okay, let me create a polygon, a folder here, and let me call it test. Inside this test, the first thing I want to do is ini is the name of the local government administrative area I want to work on. Ini underscore pol is for polygon. Okay, and it's going to be polygon. Great. I think we are good. And I'm going to create another one Notice I'm now using the shortcuts rather than coming here to create new shapefile layer. This is still the same thing as here and the same thing as here. All right, so let me just use that now. I want to create point. Okay, I'm in the folder test and I'm calling it in a POI for point, and I have to come to select the geometry type is point. All right, and that's fine. And next will be polyline. Okay, shortcut. I want it to, okay, in let me call it line. I think yes, and I'm using line string here. Perfect. So without any further ado, let's go ahead to draw this out. I'm starting with the pole. Please, for this pencil edit button to be toggled on, you have to select the layer first. If you leave it blank, if you actually leave it, okay, if you leave it blank, it will be grayed out. And you select it first, then you click on this, and you see a lot of other tools come up, especially what you even need for the digitization. So let's make it as quick as possible. I think this wouldn't take too long. This wouldn't take too long. And of course, I believe for every state or every country, there are some maps that look like this, probably in the office of the Surveyor General of the state or the country. Maps with heavy details. And this is an example of such map. And most of these kinds of maps, you can't find them on the internet. Most of them. This paper format, yeah. All right, I am almost done with polygon. This so to have the best digitization, you may just have to zoom in further to have the best kind. And I'm calling it 1. Okay, I think we can work with this for polygon. Then I could, to save, you have to click the toggle editing again, and it will ask you to save. Now we want to, okay, so that we could see through the map, I could just remove this color's opacity and increase the border width, which is called stroke width here, and probably make this color yellow. Okay, yeah, works for us. Now we want to digitize point. We'll just take a few points, and of course this is the tool. I'm just going to touch here, and that is 1, and it cut Ophion, that's another 1. I'll just make it 2 so that we won't take more. Let me just make it 3. Oh, okay, that's 2. This is 1 and this is 2. That's fine. Now we are done with that. Just watch closely. And the next one now is line. So I'm just going to draw a route from the capital of that state, that local government administrative unit. So having done that, I select the line tool. And head straight to, I'm just drawing it from here. So this is how to digitize line, point, and polygon. Very simple work. However, I stated earlier that for some reason this is not so necessary anymore, because this information, they have already been provided for you in shapefiles, and these shapefiles are on the internet already. you just simply download them, and after this I'll show you the ones which I downloaded, and they are accurate and they are fine, they are perfect. Okay, so having done that, I'm gonna save this now. Let me just remove this out, and this is what we have. For this, I'm just going to return it to black, make it a little bit grayish. The stroke width was too much then, and let me give a color I would like to use. The color I would like to use. Okay, I think I got something wrong there. I did not change the fill color, didn't I? I did not. Oh, I had made it transparent. Oh no, I want this color back. Great, perfect. What am I not doing right? It's still okay. Oh, okay, I think we are good now. This stroke width is too okay. Great. Yeah, this is fine. The points are too tiny, and let me quickly increase that size and change the color to something useful, more useful. So there are different shapes I could use here, and there's a space where I can upload the one I want to use. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I could just stay with this point. Now you could actually label these points. So what I'm going to do is go to properties. I think in the higher, when we get to the advanced QGIS training on GIS training with QGIS, we're going to do a lot more. Right now we can't label so much because the only information on our attribute table is just the ID, but I could just create one now and give it a name. This is add new field. I had to toggle on the edit, add new field. I'm calling this name. I want it to be a string, that's a text. This is how long the text should be. Let me keep it at 20. Now I have an empty. I want to make it smaller so that I could see the other part. Okay, right here. It's right here. Now if I click on this, the point I'm touching is here, and if I need to know the name of that point, I could just come back here to this map. Yes, let me keep it up here. All right, so IBAM is the name here. All right, then for the second point, Icod Ophion. Yeah, I got that. So now that I'm done, I'm saving. I think that's fine now. So what I have to do now is to remove this and put this back. And let me go ahead to label this point to make some more sense. So over here, I'll come to labels, select single labels, choose that field called name. Here again, I get to change the font and every other important thing here. Yeah, of course, bold would go for me, and this black is too dark. Okay, I think this is just fine. Okay, so you see, then for our line, okay, it's not labels I want to do. I want to increase the width and I want to change the color. Imagine if this is a road network, like a third road, it can't be yellow. Something of that is fine, and the width should be at least something like this. I think this is good. I think that's too much. However, you could take your time to find out what works for you or what you are trying to display. Okay, so this is good. Of course, the roads can be labeled, even the polygon can be labeled. Everything can be labeled. All right, so this is a simple map done from a digitization from a raster file. But right now, let's close out everything and bring in shapefiles. Okay, I will not remove this. I would like this to stay. So let me go ahead and pull in the other maps so that we can create a simple map and export. Okay, add layer, vector layer. Now this would be, okay, we are still using the map of Nigeria. Okay, here we go. Haha. Map of Nigeria. Let me zoom to layer because I had changed my zoom. All right, there we go. Now, if you see what we did, it went back to the state of Akwa Ibom because that's where it belongs. Okay, that's fine. Let's just focus on the map of Nigeria. Now, how to make a simple map. These are polygons. This is a polygon part of a whole polygon shape files. You can actually click each of them to see the different part of it. And of course, in a projected coordinate system, you can now find the area of each of these local government, states in Nigeria. Great. And now let's go straight to making a simple map with labels. First of all, let us label this map. Let's also label the states in this map. And of course, you come to labels and single labels. The admin one stands for state level maps, and when you see 0 stands for country level map. When you see 2, it stands for local government administrative level. Okay, so let's use state name since this is a state level map, and I think bold is good enough and little light. And this, let's reduce this black a little, and that is it. So we have each state labeled. All right, perfect. Each polygon part labeled. I think I want to change the color of this map, the shape of Nigeria. I come back to symbology. I love something of this nature, a little bit light. Yeah, I think that works. This makes more sense. Okay, without any further ado, let's go ahead to export this map. In my experience, I love to put in a base map to give more context to the map. A base map is it could be a Google satellite map, it could be OpenStreetMap. You just drag it in. It usually likes to come on top of your map. You can actually now pull it down so that this map of Nigeria will sit on it. So if I zoom out, you can see this is Cameroon, this is Niger Republic, this is Benin Republic, this is Togo, Ghana, Burkina Faso, and all of that. So let me zoom Nigeria back to the layer. Okay, at this point we should go ahead to export, and in my own practice I like to reduce the opacity. I like to reduce the opacity of the entire map. Let's keep it at 70 or 60. Okay, 70, so that it will have a little blend with the background. Okay, and you will see this shortly. Now, if you want to export this map, we have what we call the print layout. It's going to be here on your QGIS software. However, you can always find it in the project menu and here it is. Layout manager is where you get to create them, but let's just go ahead to do this. I'll just call it Nigeria. Just call it Nigeria. Now what happens here is that I get to draw the map that is here. I get to draw it. So how am I doing that? This tool here is add map. So when I click on it, my cursor changes and I can draw the map anyhow I want it. If I want it this way, I could just draw it here and probably add other things, pictures, charts, and everything I want. However, also, yes, I could draw it to fill the whole real estate if I want to, and usually this is how I display my maps. I get it full screen. It's taking time to load because it's also loading the OpenStreetMap, which is what we have at the background here. I think the fonts are too big, so they are not looking neat. Let me go and reduce it. So you come back here, you go back to properties, back to labels. Let me reduce it to 10, and let me go back and refresh. So this is refresh. I think it's better now. Great. Okay, at this point, like I mentioned earlier, there is no map without a north arrow. Here is our north arrow. We click on it and we draw it. It comes up. Our legend here will take exactly what is here. So that's why it is important to rename here. I'm going to rename it right now. I'm going to call it National Boundaries. Okay, basically that's what I want on the map. Okay, that's fine. I'm refreshing that and I'm pulling in the legend and I'm just going to draw it here. Notice other things are here, but we can always remove them. You first of all click on tick update map, then you get to remove what you do not want with the minus sign. Here we go. I don't need this on the legend. This is just fine. Now we have to do a little work on the legend because the legend here has no title, but here we can actually call it legend. Okay, let's still make some more adjustments to it. The font is already left. I want it centered. Also, I want to give it a frame. If I want a background, I could do so. I could change the color from white to another color. So you can always play around with it to suit your taste. I think I'm just okay with this. Okay, most people also add a scale bar to their maps. And actually, if this map is too big for you, or if you want to adjust it, you can come to use this tool here, where you get to, okay, not that one now. I think it's this tool, where you get to move your map up and down, you see. All right. And also, if your map is too big, you can get to reduce the zoom. Let me keep it at 50. Sorry. Yeah, it goes in a little. Let me change this to 60 because I need more space to put the, okay, I think 60 is too far away. Let me leave it at 5. And let me go ahead and pull in my scale bar. I don't like putting a lot of this on the map. Okay, it works fine. Notice these things can be positioned anywhere on the map. But something you need to understand about this is that map making is the same rules of graphics design applies. You use the right colors. You make it neat. You make it beautiful. So we don't have to make ugly maps out there. We have to make it beautiful. All right. So that's what I meant by the rules of graphics design. I think this is good. If you want to add a title, you can just do it. But I don't like putting titles to my map. So I like making it simple. I think we are good. Okay, so most people would like to have a border to the map. In my experience, I do not like to do that. But for the purpose of this training, I'm going to do it that. And that's grid now. I'm going to add a grid. And I'm going to modify the grid now. Okay, here we go. I think if I leave it at 5. No, let me leave it at 3 points. And okay, that gives me an information of what I am doing. Then let me leave it at 5. For both sides. Okay, and then I don't think I want to use a line. Let me see. Solid cross markers. Let me see what this. Okay. All right. Before I go here, let me do something about the frame. I want a zebra frame. Okay, great. And then I don't think I need this cross again. Okay, sorry, is it markers? I don't want markers. Frame annotations only. Yes, this is it, just the frames. And then I can now get to add the longitude and latitudes to it, which now takes me to draw coordinates. And okay, it now displays in a way that is not, I do not want it to display. So I'm now going to make this map a little bit. Okay. Hold down your shift. Yes, I want to make it this way. Yeah, so for this line, for the coordinates on the left and on the right, I want it to be vertically placed. So what I'm going to do, I'll come to left. I want it vertical, ascending. And for the right, did I say vertical? Yes. And for the right, I want it to be vertical. Okay. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Okay, great. Something is not working. Something is not working. Let me go back. The coordinates are supposed to. Okay, it wasn't saved. Am I supposed to click OK? It went back to horizontal. Oh, okay. Yeah, it returns. Okay, great. I think that was an error caused by the application itself. All right, this is good. This is good. So we have it vertically placed and all of that. I think this is just good to go. You don't have to overcomplicate your map. For me, I wouldn't add these zebra stuff. At this point, we can go ahead to export our map. Let me try to make it get to the extreme here for a better experience. And here too. I think we are good now. Now you get to export as JPEG or SVG or PDF. Here is actually PNG. But let's do that. Yeah, you can remove that and let me put it on my desktop. And the name is Nigeria. The type, you have different types, but PNG reserves a lot of quality. All right, I like it heavy and deep, like resolution heavy. So I'm just going to leave it this way and wait for our map to export. Okay, our map has been exported and here it is. Let's open it to look at it. Wow, this is a simple map. So wow, well done if you got it to this stage. And we're going to do well done. You really did well if you got to this stage. Okay, we're almost done, and we are going to be looking at vector spatial analysis, and we're going to be looking specifically at buffers in our next video.